Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to our regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of PISD. It is 6:06. Today, November 16th, 2023. We have a quorum. A couple of board members are not going to be here, but I'd like to welcome each one of y'all. I have asked Mr. Salazar to lead us in invocation, and then Ms. Bass going to lead us in the pledge. So,
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening, Lord. Just thank you for all the provisions in life, Lord. Just be with us as we conduct the business of the school district. May it be in your favor to as we move forward with every transaction and every decision we make, Lord. Just be with everybody traveling in the next week or so, and families coming in. Just put a blessing on all families here, students, parents, teachers, and all staff as well, Lord. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You'll stand with me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
thank you very much. This time, do we have any citizen comments?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay. Dr. Sanchez?
Yes, sir, we have under the presentation item, we have some foreign exchange students, and our high school counselor, Ms. Sweeney, will introduce our foreign exchange students, and they have a presentation for us, and it looks really, really interesting. I was watching them warm up as people were coming in, so I think everybody here is in for a treat. All right, Ms. Sweeney.
All right, thank you for letting us come tonight. We have 18 foreign exchange students at the high school. I don't know what was going on in Plainview, but we were doubly blessed. And I'm sure that they were very shocked when they were looking at the United States and saw pictures of New York and Los Angeles and Houston, and then they ended up in Plainview. And so, but what I can say is I believe that our students have been incredibly blessed by their presence, and I think that they have been blessed by our students as well. And we've really enjoyed them. So tonight, I only have 8 students here, and I will let them introduce themselves because I feel like they will not butcher their names like I will. They will give you their names and the countries, some of the countries that are represented. And anyway, without further ado, I apologize. I told them this is International Education Week. So it's very important for them to present during this week. That's part of their being here in the United States. And so this fell on a great night to do it. And I told them, well, there's a lot of you, so let's try to keep it at maybe, 3 minutes each or whatever. I fear that it may go a little over that. So, but I'm hoping that it will be worth your time if we go a little longer than that tonight. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So, this is Medina.
My name is Medina. I'm from Kazakhstan. It's a country located in Central Asia. I'm glad to be here and to represent my country. From all of the exchange students, we want to say thank you for this opportunity for us. We love Plainview. We feel like it's our house, it's our home now. And so we feel blessed to be here and I love all the people here.
Here, and you can do your PowerPoint. And what you're going to do is talk into the mic and face them. Okay?
So, this is my country, Kazakhstan, Central Asia, country of endless prayers and cultural balance. So, Kazakhstan is located in the continent of Eurasia in the Central Asia. Kazakhstan shares borders with Russia, China, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. So,
Some general information that you need to know about Kazakhstan is the largest country in the world that does not have direct access to the world ocean. Kazakhstan has a lot of natural resources, such as it ranks first in the world proven reserve of zinc, barite, and everything, second in silver, third in the copper and fluorite, and sixth in gold. It ranks ninth in the world in terms of territory, and our population is 19 million. Also, I like to add the information that today our population got to be 20 million. So this is a short video of nature of Kazakhstan. You can see because of our territory, we have different landscapes, and all of things that you see in the video, it's all okay. So capital city of Kazakhstan is Astana. It's a very big country, very big part of our country that I'm proud. Okay, so the history, very short history of our country is that Kazakhstan, from the ancient time, it was like Kazakh people were here, but the most modern part of the history is that in the 13th century, we got to be colonized by the Mongol Empire, because in the 15th century, we became a Kazakh Khaganate. After that, we became a part of the Soviet Union, and in the 1991, we got our independence. So this is some animals that their habitat is Kazakhstan. Also, you can see the snowbirds is the national animal of Kazakhstan. So Kazakh culture. Because of our long history, we still combine our culture and being like a part of the modern country. So we still wear our clothes like you see on me on the festivals and celebrations like Novros Mirami. If saying simply, it's Kazakh Spring New Year that we celebrate very well. So the food. Here, as you can see, some foods that we like to eat. It's barsak, samsa, manti. Also, we love to drink tea, like just hot tea without like anything, and eat chocolate with it that you can try there. So, also the most popular religion in Kazakhstan is Islam. There is more than 80% of the population is Muslims. Also, because of that, in our Astana, there is the biggest mosque in Central Asia, that you can see on the video. So, our language. Our language contains 42 letters, and you can see a little bit of the transcription in the English if you want to try reading them. So our language is from Turkish language family, so it's very similar with other languages. Also, in Kazakhstan, we practice trilingual. It means that I started learning English when I was 7. And if you ask any, like the first grader in our Kazakhstan, they have at least minimal level of knowing 3 languages, such as Kazakh, Russian, and English. So I want to teach you some easy phrases and to show how our language actually works, so how it sounds. So the first, it's a hello. It will say not a salam, but salam. Good, thank you for greeting. How are you means kalaysan. Good, thank you. And I love you, men. It means I. Seni. Жақсы көремін. Жақсы көремін. Yeah, мен сені жақсы көремін. I love you. So, the Kazakh music. This is the part of our culture that I love the most. You can see, I was trying to put like a small list, but I got like a lot of artists that I love to listen to. We have a lot of national instruments. We even like have a chocolates with them. You can also see there's like a lot of them. So this is some of the Kazakh artists that I like to listen. And the interesting part in Kazakh music is that we contain, it's like the pop music, like we have the Q-pop, not K-pop. So it's like Kazakhstan pop music that contains at the same time the Kazakh national instruments sounding, and also like the music that you can dance. So there is a lot of Darhan jazz. You can tell Dosmu Kasan, Yinlik, Irana Kairatовна, Marhaba Sabi, and Naitima. So the Kazakh famous people is like only a small part of them. So it's this GDG famous boxer, Dimash Kudaibergen is a Kazakh singer, and Imanbek, who won the Grammy for remix. Here it is. And that's my and this is my CD. It's located near our Caspian Sea that we have, and I love it with all my heart. So our traditional wear, we loved adding the ornaments and everything like that, really fancy for celebrations. This is a typical like Kazakh girl wear. There's also some parts of the men wear, like hats and everything, so you can try them on. So they're comfy actually, because I played today tennis and without hat, but yes, I did it. So, how did I came here? I want to share about programs that I came here from. Is this Flex? So they send people from all like the Central Asia and other countries for a long time now, and not so long ago they started traveling. You can travel with them to the countries such as Georgia, Kazakhstan, or Poland. Like US students can go to this country. I'm glad that we are in this list. So if you want to visit, I would glad to see you there. Also, the company that I came from is the ISSC. So most of our attention is from this program. And also, if you would like to host a student, I promise you, after you see all of this, like this perfect like kids that I love them, you would like to host a student also. So I want to share one more part so you can totally see what it looks like. All of these places. Also, I have a cards with different places and the books that you can read. Well, here with the places we know where to be. So thank you everyone for your attention. I hope that was short. I tried my best so you can leave time for that. I want to ask you quick quiz, like 3, 4, 5 questions. Patiently, you did listen to me. So the first question is, what's the capital of Kazakhstan? Good. What's the national animal?
No leopard.
And the last one, probably. Do you remember where I came from? Just about my home country now. And where Kazakhstan is located now? Because like I had a lot of trouble here because people don't know where Kazakhstan is.
Central Asia.
Central Asia. Yeah. Thank you all. Again, want to say thank you for all these people. I love them all, especially my high school, because we have a lot of people that I already met here, and I showed presentation in school also. And so how welcoming they were to listen me. It's just like it gives me butterflies and everything. Okay. Thank you for and the last thing that I want to do is to do a little my traditional dance. Hope you will wait. It's just like 1 minute. That's all.
She said dance.
Yeah, I will see. Okay, can you press? No.
Just tell me what you want me to play.
Just press one time.
Just press this. Okay. You tell me when you're ready. Are you ready?
I think I will stay here.
Okay.
I will face no one.
That's okay. Just dance. Are you ready?
Wow. That was amazing.
Are you ready, guys? To just meet it?
This is called Good Climate Community Language Musical. My name is Jasmine, and I'm from Uzbekistan.
Just the clicker. Thank you.
So I'm from Uzbekistan, and do you know where my country is? Yeah. When I ask a lot of people about Uzbekistan, and when they ask questions like, where are you from? When I say Uzbekistan, they're like, Pakistan. And they usually like, is it safe country? And I want to say that Uzbekistan is considered one of the safest country to visit for tourists. And I love watching videos from foreigner students or like tourists in YouTube about Uzbekistan, who visit Uzbekistan, because it's really interesting to see from different perspective. And the first thing they notice is hospitality of people, and I see people like inviting to totally stranger to their home for dinner, or giving them a nice day, or like giving some presents, and I'm really proud of this. Uzbekistan is Central Asian nation, and is former Soviet republic, and it's located in Central Asia, and it's red place that is depicted in the presentation. And a lot of people ask why all like STAN countries know Russian, and like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, all the exchange students know Russian, and it's because we were colonized by Russia, and every like a largest percent of Uzbeks know Russian, and when we are into school, we're already bilingual. So this is basic information about Uzbekistan. This is our flag. Blue is symbol of blue sky and clear water. Green is new life, nature, good harvest. Red is power of life. White is symbol of peace and good luck. And this is our emblem. White cotton, and some people ask why cotton, because Uzbekistan is very well known for cotton, and it's like export and import. And this is our regions. There are 13 regions in states, like in my country, and I'm from Jizzah. Languages and religion. Most of Uzbeks are Muslims, people who follow Islam, but Uzbekistan is very open to any religion, and we have temples, we have churches, we have masjids, and we have 93% of Islam and 7% of Christianity in Uzbekistan. And languages, we speak Uzbek, Persian, Kargalpak, Kazakh, and Turkish, and we are a very diverse country. And climate in our country looks like very hot in summer. It can be 110 degrees not in Celsius, and it can be minus, I don't know what's that in Fahrenheit, but it's very cold in winter. There is a really big contrast. This is the capital city of Uzbekistan, Tashkent, and this is very old city, and you can see buildings. Next is this is our architecture, and Uzbekistan is a very old country because it dates back to first or second century, and it's very historical country. And this is political situation in Uzbekistan. We have constitutional republic, and this is on the left side is our first president, Islam Abdughaniyevich Karimov. It's his full name. And on the right side, it's our president right now, who is Shavkat Miramonovich Mirziyoyev. This is our history. First, on the left side, it's Tamerlane, and he's known like in my country in history. He's very idolized, and I read in books that he's very like idolized conqueror. But when I read world history, it was written really differently, and I was surprised. This is like one of other factors, interesting facts about being exchange student. Ulugh Mirza, he's astronomer, and he contributed to astronomy in the past. Oh, okay. You can see our initial reference rate, and unfortunately, in the past years, our national debt and national pollution is being forgotten, and so. We can try really hard to bring back all these national seminaries, items, and clothes. So I want to talk about things that surprised me here as an exchange student, and like culture shock, that what surprised me, what's different, what's similar, and first thing that's different is education. At school, we study nearly 20 subjects, 20 classes, and every day there is no similar class to, like Monday we have totally different subjects, Tuesday we have totally different subjects. And even though we have 20 subjects, our school ends at 12:30.
Oh, wow.
But we study on Saturdays, and but here we can choose our the fields that we are interested in, and it's like one of the best things that I love about America, that we can meet and study with people that you have similar interests, and you have like a lot of shared interests, and I love it. The next thing is I noticed that Americans love drinking tea with ice.
She said you did.
Yeah.
110 degree, like tea, even in 110 degree outside weather. We drink really hot tea in hot weather.
Wow.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting facts that most people were surprised of was that we eat 110 pounds of flour, which is we make bread from it in a month as a family of 5 members. And here, I noticed that it's not really popular, and 110 pounds were seen as a big number. And
That's why I was really, I really like tortilla.
He likes the tortillas.
Also, one interesting fact is we eat horse meat, and I noticed that horse meat is like not a lot of offensive. And when I say this, a lot of people is like, it's bad how we eat them. But one thing is we don't eat turkey in Uzbekistan, and this is the other side that I'm really surprised of.
Huh.
Also, I'm exchange student from Flex, and Flex is a program, a competitive program with 2% of the country, and it's all over from Europe, Central Asia, and even for a little exchange student is one of the life-changing decisions that I've ever made. And even for Americans, you have a chance to travel to Europe. Mostly, I have, as I know, it's Germany and Spain. So I love being citizen, and I want to show you my national dance with classical. Oh, I want. Before that, I really want to show the video of so you can imagine how Uzbekistan is, the places, and how it looks. I love to show them.
Are you gonna play music on it? You just start? You just show me that. Okay.
Can you press play?
when I was about their age, I was going to show my family our national dance, and my grandpa threatened to give me cattle warmer.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Ahmad. Yeah, I know it's difficult to pronounce it, but today I wanna show my presentation about my country. So Kyrgyzstan, that's a small country in the Central Asia, but with a really big history and incredible culture. So Kyrgyzstan, as I said, is a small country in the Central Asia. The population is almost 7 million. The capital city of Kyrgyzstan is Bishkek. So on the picture you can see the part of the Bishkek. As you can see, there's a lot of mountains, and Kyrgyzstan is 93% is mountainous. The Kyrgyz flag. This is our Kyrgyz flag, and it has a meaning. The red color stands for blood, which means that our ancestors fought for the Kyrgyz independence, and a yellow sun that contains a depiction of a tunduk, the opening in the center of the roof of a yurt. So I want to show you more about the yurts. So for a long time ago, Kyrgyz folk used to live in this kind of houses because of the Kyrgyz people are nomads. They use this kind of houses which can quickly be established and quickly be dismantled. The inside has only one big room with kind of stuff in the center. National clothing. Kyrgyz national clothing made of shirdak. That's a special material and has a lot of national patterns. As you can see, I wear one of the Kyrgyz national hat. It names is kalpak. So national food, mante and borsok. This one is borsok. That's a fried pieces of dough. In our country, we eat a lot of bread because it's satisfying. And I was kind of surprised after my arrival that American people are not eating a lot of bread. Yeah, that kind of confused me. And this one is mante. Kyrgyz people are very ancient people with a lot of history and culture. This photo shows a tower belonging to the 17th century. The original meaning of this tower was protection. Kyrgyz people are fought for their independence, and as I said, our ancestors give a lot of their lives for our independence. And the interesting fact about Kyrgyzstan that the longest poem in history was produced in Kyrgyzstan, telling the story of the life of Manas, the heroic warrior who united Kyrgyzstan. The epic of Manas weighs in an impressive 500,000 lines. That's 20 times longer than the Odyssey. On this picture, you can see our warrior, which united the Kyrgyzstan. Isn't it incredible? That's all. Thank you for watching.
Salam, nami man Nilufar, manas Tajikistan. Hello everyone, my name is Nilufar and I'm from Tajikistan. Welcome to Tajikistan. Tajikistan is the roof of the world. You probably will be interested, why do we call Tajikistan the roof of the world? Because we have got the highest mountains, one of the highest mountains in the world. And in the first picture, you can see Tajikistan pictures taking from the above. Another picture the next picture is the Hisar Fortress, one of the cultural places that is most visited by tourists. And the other place is Ismail Samani, another cultural place that tourists usually like to visit. And this is our national flag and our traditional clothes. By the way, I'm wearing one of our traditional clothes, as you see. Tajikistan, landlocked country lying in the heart of Central Asia. So it's bordered by all the countries that are the other Central Asian countries that were before me. So we are bordering with Afghanistan and China on the east, and Uzbekistan on the west and northwest. Tajikistan was a constituent republic of the Soviet Union until its independence in the 9th of September 1991. The capital city of Tajikistan is Dushanbe, and Tajiks form the ethnic majority of the country. The population of Tajikistan is more than 10 million people. Official language of Tajikistan is Tajik. There are 3 vilayet, as we call them, but here you will call them regions, Surt, Khatlan, and Badakhshan. The government of Tajikistan. We have presidential republic, and Tajikistan is a presidential republic with the current president of which is Emomali Rahman, and he's been the head of the country since 1994. The constitution is a democratic republic. Tajikistan has constitution with the rules that must be followed by every citizens of their republic. Also, we have got different parties such as political party, People's Democratic Party, Agrarian Party, Party of Socialist Party, Communist Party, and others. And also you can see our money that we use back in my home country. Here you can see 2 big cities of Tajikistan. The first picture is the capital city of Tajikistan that is called after the day of the week, that translates as Monday because of the large bazaar day in the city that operated on Mondays. So also another interesting fact about Tajikistan that as we are bordering on the east with China, the Silk Road was, they had their trades starting from the east of China and bringing them to the capital of Tajikistan, Dushanbe. And after that, they divided their trades to other countries that we're bordering with, and such as Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, so the countries that are located closer to us. Summers are hot and dry, and winters are chilly and not really cold. Horugh. The city of Horugh is considered as the capital of Pamirs. Horugh is small and divided to 2 parts by the Hond River. Horugh is 2,200 meters above the sea level in the Pamir Mountains. Horugh is known for poplar trees that dominate the flora of the city. Religion. The major religion is Islam. The country is more than 90% of Muslims. Next largest religion is Christianity, and other religions include Zoroastrianism, Jew, and Baha'is. So here you can see the pictures of the biggest mosques that we have back in my home country, in Dushanbe. And this is just the beauty of Tajikistan, the famous places that people usually like to visit. The first picture is the Pamir Highway, one of the world highest highways that we have. And on the next pictures, you can see Buddha in Nirvana, also the Hisar Fortress, and Iskandar Kul. We call it Iskandar Kul because it's named because of Alexander the Great. He's been traveling and passing by it, and the villagers believe that his horse drowned in this lake. So that's why sometimes they believe that they can see the horse coming out of the river, out of this lake. Sleeping Dragon. This is another famous place. This is another Tajikistan famous place. It's called Sleeping Dragon, or Sarez Lake. Every child in one of the villages grows up hearing the story of night in February 1911 because of the ground shock and a landslide crashed the village. So there was a big earthquake that people never forget. And the scientists believe that For the decades, that dam could collapse and flood an area inhabited by 5 million people in 4 Central Asian countries: Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. According to their prediction, a wave taller than a Los Angeles City Hall would rush down the valley below the dam. As the water spread, it would engulf villages, towns, and cities for more than 1,300 miles along the rivers of the 4 countries, ultimately reaching the Aral Sea in Uzbekistan. So this lake could probably flood all the Central Asian countries that we have. And here is the video of it, how it looks like. Roof of the world. So we call Tajikistan roof of the world because the Gorno-Badakhshan Autonomous Oblast, eastern Tajikistan, is the home to Pamir Mountains, and also called the roof of the world, whose sharp mountain range and deep valleys resemble a lunar landscape. Another interesting and highest mountain in Tajikistan is Ismaili Somoni Peak, one of the highest in the world. It is located in Pamir. The mountain is named after Ismaili Somoni, a ruler of the Somoni dynasty. This is the place that is most visited by the whole people all over the world. It's called Gan Chashma because it's a thermal water and it has it has health benefits, including relief from joint pain, skin diseases, and respiratory problems. The springs are also believed to be effective in treating digestive disorders, and some people come to Gan Chashma specifically for one of its 70 therapeutic benefits. And also it is located outside, so people can come and hang out in there, swim in there, and also get treated. And here you will see more, you will get more information about Tajikistan.
Say good morning to the glorious Tajikistan from the roof of the world and gaze around from the high altitude. Embrace incredible scenery and take a journey around the most magical place on earth. Explore and make friends with the people who live in the ancient capital city. Named after a day of the week, lose yourself in the picturesque parks and quaint streets of Dushanbe. Feel the pulse of the ancient Silk Road and visit one of Central Asia's most beautiful markets. Meet the people keeping tradition alive. Come to a local workshop to choose something beautiful and unique, just like the unspoiled nature of Tajikistan. Along the Pamir Highway, one of the world's highest highways, and step into an unbelievable outdoors, where the wild is free and freedom is in the air. Visit the world's highest dam, stretching across 43 miles and generating all the country's energy. Approach the longest glacier outside the polar region, making Tajikistan a reservoir of clean drinking water and helping to develop sustainable agriculture in the high altitude. Make this journey truly special. Visit inspirational places. Feel music all around you at one of many fascinating open-air concerts, which bring together the nation's best musicians. Explore the remains of an ancient civilization, alive with modern-day passion. Be our guest. Let us welcome you into our home. Tajikistan, with love from altitude.
Now I would like to tell you more about cultural heritage of Tajikistan. The first picture that you see is the skull caps that we usually make, and they are handmade. So also the clothes that you can see on me, all the patterns that we have got, they're all handmade. And the second picture is usually our traditional dish that we drink tea or eat meals from. And the third picture is called gulduzi. So our grandmothers on the celebration day usually sew something. And I have brought a piece of gulduzi with me so you can see how it will look like. It's also handmade as well.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And the other musical instruments that you can see are the part of our musical heritage, and they're the part of our musical heritage. And this is how people usually dress. This is another interesting thing about Tajikistan, that each region of the three of them have got their own different patterns, and they wear them on celebrations. One of them is called Chakan, and the other one is called Atlas. This is Chid, as we call it, one of the most important repositories of the culture of the Pamirs. It's locally known as Chid or Chorkhona, a skylight, the design of which incorporates four concentric square box-type layers known as Chorkhona, four houses representing respectively the four Zoroastrian elements: earth, water, air, and fire, the latter being the highest, touched first by the sun rays. Five supporting pillars symbolizing the five members of Muhammad family. So it's closely related to our religion. As we are Islams, and our ancestors, like mine ancestors, they were Zoroastrian. That's why we try to keep this house always safe, and we try to keep it clean. Tajik cuisine. Well, our cuisine kind of close to Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan cuisine, but one of the famous meals that we have is plov, or oshi palav as we call it, the fried rice chopped with carrots and beef in it. And I also made it for my host parents, and they say that it's good. Also, we like to eat a lot of bread that is not kind of common here. And this is how we make one of the famous meals called shakarop. So tasty, isn't it? Well, quick fact about Tajikistan. Tajikistan has rich deposits of gold, silver, antimony, lali badakhshan, that is ruby, spinels, and others. So even in my jewelries, you can see these little red stones that are rubies, or as I call them, lali badakhshan. Fascinating local sports: Gushtingiri, Buskashi, like a polo. It looks like a polo. And Iskandarkul is named after Alexander the Great. Hospitality of people. So if you're a foreigner and you just came up to Tajikistan to visit all these places, you don't know where to stop. Wherever you will go and wherever you'll meet a person and say, hey, I need a help, I don't know where to stop, they'll just say, you can stay with us. You don't have to pay for staying. They will feed you 24 hours. You can stay how long you want, and they will never say, hey, it's time for you to leave. Well, Tajiks drinks hot tea even at the summertime. So this is, again, it's not common here, so it takes time to adjust, but it's good as well. And regions of Tajikistan, each region of Tajikistan is so specific, and it has got its own patterns, and it's attractive by its way because we have got more than 20 dialects in each region. So people speak different languages. One language, but in different ways. And on this good note, I would like to end my presentation and say, Tashakur baroy di qadaton. And also, I would like to show you just a little part of my dance. I promise it won't be so long.
Turned up. Let's start again. Sorry, I will. Ready? So next we have 4 students from Taiwan. 3 of them are here. And an interesting thing is they all pick out an American name when they come. So you have Eugene, Annie, and Carmen. So
Hi everyone. We're an exchange student from Taiwan. My name is Eugene.
My name is Annie.
My name is Carmen.
So before we start, I just want to ask, have you guys heard of Taiwan before? Yes. Yeah, on global news about like our relationship between China and us, right? But I'm not here to talk about this. This is not our main topic. And yeah, and you might wonder why we are dressing like hoodies or shorts and stuff. We didn't miss our traditional clothes because just to let you know that Taiwan is a newborn country. So it's only 112 years old. So we might not have so many historic or traditional things to say, but that doesn't mean it's the end of our presentation. And yeah, so let's start. So here's some basic information I would like to share with you guys. The population of Taiwan is around 23 million. And just to let you guys have the concept, Texas is around 29 million. And its location, it's at the right side of China, below Japan, it's at East Asia. And we speak Chinese, it's also known as Mandarin. And the area is like 19 Taiwan equals 1 Texas, so it's like very small. And this is our capital, Taipei. And the tallest building is Taipei 101. In 2010, it's the highest building in the world, not in Taiwan, in the world, but not now. And our city is surrounded by mountains, and I really like it. And river has crossed our capital, and it's really beautiful. So I'm going to talk about our weather. In summer, it's 86 Fahrenheit to 100.4 Fahrenheit, and it's kind of rainy there. And we got typhoon on the summer, and winter we don't snow, so we can't go skiing or snowboarding and stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of sad of that. And in winter it's around 50 to 70 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
And we have 3 main holidays. The first one is Chinese New Year, and we have Dragon Boat Festival and the Moon Festival. And then the most important is the Chinese New Year. It's during on the February, and then it's a day that you will go back to your home and reunion with the family and celebrate New Year's. And I will talk about the language. We have the almost same language with China because we have used to have the same government. But if you look at the translation, Google Translation, you have the 2 options. One is Chinese simple and one is Chinese traditional. We use the traditional one. So the difference is, if you look at the yellow picture, the left one is traditional one, and the right is the simple. The one means love. And the pronouns are the same, but we write it different. So traditional one would be more complicated, and the simple one just easy to write. And the English is our second language. You have to read and learn English in the first grade, and all the people in the Taipei, also in Taiwan, know how to use English. So if you travel in the Taiwan, you will not be missing. So how the Chinese work? The Chinese is word and word will combine to the vocabulary, and each word have their own meaning. So this, for example, this one is forest, and then if you look at the right, for first word, they got 3 trees on there, so that means jungle. And the second ones have 2 trees on there, so it means woods. So jungle and wood combined together means forest, and the pronounce is 森林. And next, we'll talk about the drink shop. Drink shop is an important culture in Taiwan because you will see the drink shop in all the streets. And we have all kind of drink there, just like tea to go here. And we don't like to drink soda much, so we drink more like tea. You can order like green tea, black tea, and then oolong tea, but not sweet tea in the Walmart. And you can order some slice in the drink, like the boba. The boba is from our country. And you can order a cheese in there, and we have the tea jelly in there too. And then the tea drink is special because it can be customized by the ice and the sugar level. So you can order like full ice and a full sugar, but no people would do that in Taipei. We order like no sugar and no ice in there.
Let's talk about the difference. Let's look at the left picture. This is the different size of McDonald's cup. Our cups is the similar like Japanese cup. So we have small, medium, and large. And as you can see, there's 3 lines on the cups that are American size. So Our size is smaller than American size. So our large size is smaller than American medium. Yes. And by the way, I wanna share interesting things that I really like McDonald's here because we cannot refill the drink in my country, but we can do that here. So I'm satisfied with this. Yes. Then this night market is the most famous attraction in Taiwan. Basically, it is a market that starts in the evening. It has a lot of food stand. Not only food stand, we can also buy clothes and we can play some games in the night markets, like playing the basketball and shooting the darts to get big dolls. The last but not least is our convenience stores. This picture is like you are the only employee in the stores when you at the busy time. So we can do a lot of things here. We can request the employee to print the file and use microwave to heat the food and pick up our package that we order online. And we can book any tickets in the convenience store. And we can even request the employee to make a cup of coffee for us. Yeah. This is okay.
So I would like to teach you some of the Chinese that we speak. It's like really easy. I know you guys would think it's very hard, but my classmate at government class just learned it in 5 seconds. So it's like when you say hello in Mandarin, it's ni hao. So how do you spell it? It's like Nihao, ni hao. Yeah, exactly. That's how you say ni hao in Taiwan. And yeah. And I'm sorry that we don't have traditional dance for you guys, but still hope you like our presentation.
We have one more presentation for you, just one more. I have to tell you, while she's making her way up here, one of my students that isn't here, he came in, and you're trying to figure out what classes to take, and so we were picking out a math class, and so we decided on accelerated algebra 2, and he went down to accelerated algebra 2, and he was there for, maybe 10 minutes, and he came back, he said, I learned this in elementary school. I said, okay, so I put him in AP calculus. He was down in AP calculus, he came back, he said, I'll go back to accelerated algebra 2.
So my name is Lachin Oronova. I'm from Turkmenistan. Definitely you didn't hear about it because, my country is the most isolated country in the world and the most unknown. So today, I will tell you about it. So Turkmenistan, located in Central Asia and the borders with Kazakhstan countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. Go next. The capital of my country is Ashgabat, also known as the White City. So why it calls White City? Because the city is literally white. All buildings are covered with white marble from Italy, and all cars are white. It's like one of the most surprising things for me. It's the first time in my life when I see colored cars. Red, green, yellow, black. It's like, really? They can be they're not white? Why? It was surprising because in Ashgabat, all cars are white. If your car is not white, then you'll have to pay fine and color it. Okay. It's flag of my country, and as every flags of nations, it represents every element represents something. So green color, it's life and grass. Moon, it's our religion, Islam, and stars are our 5 states. And this ornaments is like our 5 tribes. So 5 states, it's 5 tribes, and my tribe is Ersare. It's actually we don't have this tribe fights, but still some people believe that one tribes are better than others. It's a bit silly, but it's okay. And these olive branches represent our neutrality.
So interesting fact, Turkmenistan is the first country in the world that is that United Nations how to say it? Как сказать? Признали. Признать. Серьезно, блядь, англичане собрались тут. Okay, so it's the first country in the world that United Nations call as neutral. I don't know how to say it in English. I'm sorry for my... I'm stupid a little bit. Yes! Oh my gosh, thank you. Recognized as neutral. Neutral. Oh, it's our currency. So our currency called manat is the little one and the most expensive. So $1 is about 20 manat. It's pretty much, I guess. So for example, average salary in my country is $200. No, $150. 200 is like pretty much. Yeah. Language. So in my country, we speak Turkmen and Russian languages, and there is a little amount of people who know Turkish language and English speakers. So this is one of the popular poems. Can I read it, please? Ceyhun bilen Bahri Hazar arası, çöl üstünden öser yeli Türkmenin. Gül gançarı gara gözüm garası, gara dağdan iner sili Türkmenin. It says about our beauty, about beauty of Turkmenistan and how Turkmen people love their country. Clothes. National clothes of Turkmenistan is like, for girls, it's long dresses with special national ornaments, traditional ornaments. And as you can see, here's red dress. It's photo for my prom. It's like for prom we wear special red traditional dresses, and at school we have uniform. It's a second surprising thing for me in US that you can wear whatever you want. It's like, really? Why we can do it? And for school we wear green dresses. I just noticed that we look like, Fiona from Shrek. Really? I didn't notice it. What? Okay, maybe it's okay. And yeah. Interesting facts. Dirty cars are not allowed in the cities. It's true. If your car will be dirty, you will have to pay fine and wash your car immediately. If you will not wash this car in an hour or more, you will again be supposed to pay fine. So cameras are everywhere, literally everywhere, like shops, restaurants, streets. Even on the streets there are cameras. We drink camel milk. We call it çekirdeğ. I don't think that it's not that good, but still we drink it. It's because it's healthy. Eating horses is illegal. If I'm not mistaken, in Kazakhstan, people eat horse meat. But in my country, horses are treasure. And if you will eat them, you will just pay fine and maybe go to the jail. Just because he eats some animal. And there are gates to hell in Turkmenistan formed 52 years ago. Okay, let's talk a little bit about it. It's a gates to hell. So in 1971, one man made a mistake. That's why in my country we have a huge football field size hole formed 52 years ago that burns for 52 years. Just because one man in the past was trying to find some oil and find gas, and it just leak? Yeah, leaks, and we thought if we will burn it, so in 3 days, maybe in a week, they will just turn off, but no. 52 years, it's still burning.
Oh, wow. It's a natural gas reserve. We need to go through.
Another side sign of my country is K for 40 girls, also known as Kırkız. So as you can see, the things on the ceiling is tapes. So according to legend, if you if you will screw this tape to the ceiling, and if it will stick, so your wish will come true. To be honest, my wish was to come to yes, and as you can see, it worked. Before this, let me tell you about some food. I can't help but I should mention is that we really like bread. We eat bread, like I feel like all Stan countries like bread, and in Turkmenistan is like especially because we even watermelons we eat with bread. Watermelons. Fruits we eat with bread. What else? Ramen. Like literally everything. And the national foods as others like palov, samsa, manti, like pretty similar. And okay, let me finish with this. So programs that sponsors us is Flex. I'm so grateful for them. I enjoy my life in US because this opportunity to like experience it with your whole body and your soul. It's so incredible. And especially I like school. Okay, third interesting thing about America is just at school, it's free, you can choose your subjects, you can just do what you like. Because in my country, every day we have different subjects, and we have like in total 24, I guess, subjects. I hate chemistry, and I was supposed to do it like not every day, but 3 days in a week. We study like 6 days, and 3 of them is with chemistry. Okay, I had a hard time. And my placement organization is ASSE, and as I said, it's really adorable to experience everything. And if you are interested in it, if you want to explore the world, to broaden your horizons, so you have opportunity to host students, just like interesting students. And if you're interested, you can come to our representative, and she can give you further information. That's it. Thank you for your attention. I have a video. Anyone have a video? I want to show it. Why? Wow.
Wayne used to get approval. Where's Wayne?
Happens. That's it.
So just to wrap up, I know they want to take a picture. The Flex program, our State Department, so nationally, our State Department sponsors the kids and scholarships them. So they're looking for the best of the best in their countries. They go through a rigorous process. They interview with diplomats in order to be here. And the purpose is, and it's very strategic for us, the purpose is that we want them to have a great experience, and we want them to go back to their countries and stay fond of the United States. And that is a very big deal for us, especially if you look at some of the locations of their countries. It's important to us, on a world level. Also, the kids, let's see, what was I going to say? Okay, so the State Department, because we have so many students, I believe that our district is going to get a special recognition from the State Department for hosting the students. So that's all good. Thank you. And a lot of the kids wanted to take, they know more than one language, but a lot of them wanted to take Spanish. And then, of course, because they all wanted to play sport, and so a counselor, I don't know who, said, take tennis. Yeah, so that will segue into your next, into your next part of the program. But I think they want to take a picture, so if you guys would come up and take a picture with the school board.
They wanted to take. a
Thank
picture,
you.
guys.
Thank you so much for letting us take your time tonight. I appreciate it.
That was awesome. All right, next we have Coach Webb, and he will talk to us about some of our tennis honors.
And show us a dance too, right?
I think he's got a traditional tennis dance.
Yeah. We need to see that first.
Not happening. Thank you all for allowing us to give you our players that had all district awards. I do want to say something about all the kiddos over there. What do we have, 18 students, foreign exchange? We have 11 of them on our junior varsity tennis team.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And I wish all of our kids could have the same pure joy that they do when they're playing. It's pretty incredible because they are laughing and goosing and giggling and just having a ball out there. And I think Coach Fott would agree that they're our highlight of the day some days because it's just pure joy. They're just having fun. And it's very cool. Couple of comments. I don't know why they would want to leave here and go back to their countries because they don't look like they're very pretty at all, do they? I mean, man, can you imagine the culture shock coming to here from those places? So we're very, very happy to have y'all. How many of y'all are on the tennis team? How many of y'all in tennis? Stand up. There you go. Good job. That's only a portion of them. So I'm honored tonight to be able to present our All District Award winners from our fall tennis team. These awards are voted on by the district coaches. We voted on them on November 7th, and all these players have been working hard, not only during practice, but they're staying afterwards and doing extra work and stuff, and it's showing by these awards that they've received. I'm extremely proud of them. And I'm really looking forward to how well they are going to do in the spring. And also want to give kudos to Coach Fott for helping because he has really helped me learn a lot with just working with teams and things like that. And he's a big reason that we're doing what we're doing. So, and no, I'm not going to show you the traditional tennis thing. Sorry. So let me introduce, these are your Varsity Bulldog All-District Award winners. Anastasia Sanchez, honorable mention, #1 girls singles, And honorable mention, mixed doubles with Matthew Rogers. Come on up. Matthew is also honorable mention for
Good luck, he said. Hey. Want to go look at the tennis facility? Yeah, yeah. Do that. Awesome.
And Coach, if you don't mind, do you want to just kind of share? I know you've walked through the tennis facility more recently than I have. So I didn't know if you wanted to just kind of let the board know what you're seeing there.
seeing progress. Hopefully they're planning on by Christmas time. We're hoping that they'll have it done by then, so we can kind of start moving some stuff in after, during the Christmas break and stuff. Starting to get the paint. They've got the windows in, put in the spray foam insulation. I think they've got most of the electrical work in. We were talking about where we want to fence it in so that we can make sure that it stays secure and stuff, where we can put up some banners and stuff so that they don't get vandalized and things. But it's looking good. We're really excited. We ordered furniture. Becca. I mean, oh, you didn't get that email? Yeah. No, but we looked at furniture and stuff to go in there. So we're looking forward. We're going to wait until we actually get into it to get in some of the storage things of what we need to find out exactly what we need and how we're going to split up the storage between us and soccer, just so everybody's equally, has equal storage and stuff. So we're excited. I want to thank y'all again for doing that. It's kids are going to be having a good time with that, and I think something that they're going to be able to be proud of. And when those schools from the north come down, they won't be going, "Hey, where's your toilets in that little shed over there?" No, not anymore. We're going to have some nice places for them. So thank y'all again.
Thank you, Coach.
The last 3 years, the team has increasingly done better, and so we appreciate the hard work from Coach Webb and his vision, as well as from Coach Fott. They've done a good job with the team, and it is definitely headed in the right direction, so we appreciate you guys. See, Mr. President, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask if we can just have a few minutes to let the students and their families depart, and then I'll go through the superintendent's report, and then we can go through the business part of the agenda.
Okay. It's 7:32. Let's take a 10-minute break. Thank you. It is 7:46. Dr. Sanchez.
All right, so Wayne, can you pull the letter up? I'd contemplated whether or not to be gentle in sharing this news, and so I'll just present it as it is. We had been very positive about what we have been saying about. I'm going to go down there, that way y'all can see the letter. It'd be a little better. So we've been very positive about everything we've been saying about Atmos. We had said that, they were going to make things right, and that's what their representative had said to us. We're going to make things right. And they even sent us that in an email. We'll make things right. And so I'll give y'all a bit of context. So December 22nd, 2022, Doris took some time to look up the temperature, the low for that day. It was 1 degree. And the next day it was 3 degrees. And so when it was 1 degree, Atmos Energy called Scott Voiles, who's our operations foreman, and asked Scott if he could help us out, being Atmos, and if we would turn down the heat so that there would be enough gas available for consumers in the Panhandle, in the Atmos service area, because they were afraid that there would be a repeat of 2 years earlier when everything froze and there wasn't enough gas and people were cold. And so Atmos asked if we would turn down the gas and turn down the temperature to help them be able to serve their service area, and being a public school district and being a neighbor and being a good neighbor in the public school district, we complied. And so in text message, the Atmos rep asks Scott, hey, can y'all turn it down? Scott says, we'll turn it down to 65. They say, great, thank you. And so Scott does. Now, we tend to keep that building a lot warmer because it's a metal building. It's got a metal roof. And the heat rises even if there aren't people in there, which keeps the fire suppression system, which are all of the pipes that run the sprinkler system, warm so that they don't freeze over. Now, I'll be very clear that in the first freeze, those pipes didn't burst and the water didn't run. And so what we had done by leaving the heat on was sufficient to keep the pipes from bursting. Well, Scott, as a good neighbor, complied. He turned the thermostat to 65. The Atmos folks knew that's the temperature that we were turning it to. And the lawyer speak basically said, well, we recommend that you turn it down to 68. And it's in the letter. You can see that commercial buildings like Plainview High School are typically kept between 68 and 74 during winter months, and often even lower when unoccupied. Yeah, but not when it's 1 degree. And so they're saying that because we turned it to 65 instead of 68, that it's on us that the pipes blew. And so after telling us for months that they were going to make it right, those were their words, we are going to make it right, they decided to send us a letter to say, we're not going to make it right. We're not going to take care of Plainview ISD. And our musicians haven't had access to the band hall for the entire summer because of the damage. And they haven't had access up until recently for the entire fall. And we're still missing lockers. Those are on the agenda. We're still missing the sound panels. That's on the agenda. And so our band did the best that they could without a band hall. And so they had to try to get their sound right and their show right and everything during the marching season done without a band hall. And our students suffered for not having access to that. If we would have ignored Atmos And if we would have kept the thermostat at about 74, 75, the pipes wouldn't have frozen and the water wouldn't have been 4 feet deep in there, and we wouldn't have lost our band uniforms and our band instruments and everything else in there that ended up water damaged. And our students, our musicians would have fared better, we feel, when it came to marching season. And so I'm presenting this in public tonight because I shared with the folks at Atmos that we had been extolling them, and we had been extolling their good word and their good name because they said that they were going to make it right. And we've been saying that. Any group or organization that had asked, hey, so how are y'all covering the band hall? Well, Atmos is taking care of it. They said they were going to make it right because we helped them out. We turned down the heat so that they could provide gas to their customers so that no one would be without. And so our students ended up being the ones without as a result of doing what we felt was the right thing. Now, I won't name districts, but we talked to other districts and we asked, well, what do you do when Atmos calls you? We just tell them we're going to do it and we ignore them because we're concerned that they're not going to make good on their word. Well, their concern was well heeded. So at this point, we've turned the claim over to our insurance. And I mean, Doris and I even talked to the folks at Atmos and said, will y'all even cover the deductible amount? And they said, no, it's on you because you turned it down to 65 and we said 68. And you have that in the letter, which is ridiculous. So our insurance, TASB Insurance, is going to take legal action against Atmos to recover the cost. And they're currently reviewing all of the documentation that we have. And we did make our insurance aware that Atmos said they were going to take care of it. But we did keep all of our documentation on what we purchased, how we bid it. Everything was done according to law. And we looked for the best value, not the most expensive item. And so we're working right now with our insurance as they evaluate what they will cover and to what extent. And then they did make us aware that they would appreciate our cooperation as they pursue legal action to recover this amount from Atmos. And so I wanted to present this as part of the superintendent's report to the board and to the public. And that's the letter that they sent us. And it's just extremely disappointing when we have told every group how much we've appreciated Atmos because they were going to make things right. And so this is their definition of making things right, which is a letter saying that 3 degrees made the difference between taking care of kids and not. And so with that, if there are any questions you have for myself or Scott or Doris, will be happy to answer them.
What's our deductible? What's our part on our deductible?
25,000. So yeah, I mean, they were unwilling to cover that.
So it says in here that they don't think that the photographs in the district don't appear that they feel like there was a delay in the efforts to remediate the issue. So, but when did we first start? December 22nd was when it froze. How much time passed before we started?
Immediately.
I mean, I was going to say I know some of our maintenance men were scooping water out and spent hours getting things out and those kinds of things.
Right. No, as soon as we were made aware of it, they went to work and then contacted Carpet Tech, and they came in and began sucking water out, and they had dehumidifiers. And let me ask Manuel, David, and Scott if they can talk about the links that they went to try to take care of that. When y'all want to come up?
We issued the purchase order to Carpet Tech on, that freeze happened on December 22nd. The PO was sent to them on December 23rd because it was in the
Emergency.
So the next
So we
day.
immediately sent it.
So luckily, after when the maintenance staff were called out,
immediately that day. David went ahead and called, and he called Carpetech. He called his contact. Luckily, they were in the middle of, from what I understood, they were in the middle of trying to find some other places to go to, and they decided to come over here, and they stopped what they were doing somewhere else. And so they came immediately that day to start extracting the water and putting their machines out there. We went to the point too, after they did their process, which they did for a while, for about a couple, maybe about 2-3 weeks. We went ahead and put carpet fans. We had carpet fans in there. We even had the walls tested, make sure that the moisture was gone by that time. But of course, once sheetrock gets wet, it stays wet for a while. So we were in there trying to remediate with fans and so forth. So we didn't delay in anything like that. Anytime that happens in the district, that's immediate response from the whole entire team, which includes the custodial and the maintenance department.
Did they elaborate any on the back page of this letter? It says fire sprinkler failure at PISD was an unfortunate event. However, while there may be multiple causes for the sprinkler failure, Atmos request to lower the temperature. So what do they mean by multiple failures?
What they're claiming is when we lowered the temperature, our sprinkler system should have been able to handle it at 65, that it shouldn't have burst. And so they're saying that it must have been faulty pipe or faulty fittings or faulty insulation. And as I mentioned, the band hall during the prior freeze that did result in a line giving out at Ash and in the Ash gym, we didn't have that occur in the band hall. So that's where we disputed that point, that we've had this kind of weather before in the last 2 years, and it held up, but it didn't this time because we did something differently in the band hall, and that was we abided by your request and we turned down the heat. And when we didn't turn down the heat, things were fine. And so, and we did. I mean, we went point by point with them and with their representative out of Fort Worth. The local guys, we feel they were sincere. We feel they were sincere that they wanted to do right. But once it hit their corporate office, we got a notification from a representative in Fort Worth who video conferenced in and basically said, well, you can provide new reasons and we can provide new, I think it's in there too. She said, you can provide new reasons and we can provide new denials. Okay. And so at that point, we're looking at well over $2 million worth of damage, because when you have about 2 to 3 feet of water sitting in a facility, it gets soaked into everything, and from furniture to instruments and band uniforms and everything else that was below that water line, or along the walls where those lines burst and the water came running down those walls. So we had not only the water pooling in there, we had the water running through the ceiling and down the walls as the fire suppression system gave out, because it had frozen and it's cast iron, and it some of it spread and it burst.
Dr. Sanchez, you mentioned our insurance is looking into what they will cover.
Yes.
Will cover. Do we have an ETA on that, and what does that look like?
Doris, do you have information on that?
Okay, perfect.
And we do appreciate Mr. Kelly. He did provide us some documentation that we needed.
Okay.
They're asking whether or not some of the instruments that were replaced were repairable. And we do have documentation from the company that that evaluated what could be repaired and what couldn't. So we're and we're fortunate because that company isn't a company that sells instruments, they just repair them. So if they say we can't repair them, then they're out money. It would be better for them to try to repair it. And so some of the instruments they said they couldn't repair, that they had to be replaced. And so we went off those recommendations.
So we're able to salvage anything from the building?
Damage? Oh, I don't believe so. The lockers that are on the agenda were waterlogged and particle board and beginning to spread, and we're developing as a result of the water damage, black mold on the back of them. And the carpet and the subfloor was soaked with water. The sound panels were, water had run down those. The instruments that were woodwind instruments that were below the water line were all ruined. And then some of the brass instruments, because of the different metals that are used inside of them, seized up. Brass turns green. They were also damaged. And then some of the drums and other things were damaged. The uniforms, that's why we ended up with new uniforms. They had the uniforms stacked because they were getting ready to store them. And so they were below the water line. And then all of the chairs that have the foam stuffing and the particle board bottom also were damaged as the water came in there. Office furniture, office equipment, everything that got wet in there that was plugged in, it was damaged. So, yeah, the lease copier that wasn't ours, it survived.
It survived.
Yeah. So, but everything else, it was bad.
So they're saying they are not going to pay for the plumbing, pipes,
Nothing. No.
nothing.
So that's what
After they had originally said, and that's in text message, correct? Like,
we,
or in emails and the text message of when they told you to turn it down and all those things.
yeah. Yes. And they told us they were going to, multiple times, we're going to make it right. Even the last conference call we did, Donovan said, we're going to make it right. We'll make it right. After we did a final conference call with the representative of Fort Worth, but before that, we did another conference call with the local guys. And they were like, okay, we understand. All right, we'll make it right. And we talked to them about that. It's a prefab metal building. It's got a metal roof. It's a metal structure. It was 1 degree that day, 3 degrees the next day. And that any building that was built like that wasn't properly heated is going to have problems. And they did in our community and in the Panhandle. And Atmos has multiple claims from multiple districts and public entities that oblige them and turn down their heat. And we're just one of them. And so that's where we found ourselves, is that we complied with their request, and we're a victim of being a good neighbor.
I think it's an unfortunate event, unfortunate circumstances that we're in. I think at the end of the day, though, we just got to make it right for our kids in our program to be, to give them back what they need to have to be successful and grow that program further. So
We feel it's been an injustice to our seniors because that's their last marching season and they didn't have a band hall to practice in. And right now they're in getting ready for concert season and some of the practice rooms, we're still waiting for a door and different things like that to come in. It's the supply chain stuff still isn't great. So we're still waiting on certain things to be finished out by the subcontractor. And Becca's been communicating with them. And then our local guys have been working diligently to get whatever part they have left done. So I wish it was a more positive superintendent's report, but this is the information that I have to share with you as part of the report, and I'll keep you updated as our insurance carrier works through this. We'll keep you all updated.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want me to read? You want me to read, or are you going to? You want me to? Okay. Our first business item is the consideration approval for the donation of an iGenie ball machine for for Plainview High School tennis, and the Booster Club is going to do 5,000 of that, and then you could explain a little bit more about that.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we have Ms. Long who will talk to us about the opportunity for the board to accept a donation from the Tennis Booster Club.
We have, a request from the Plainview High School Tennis Booster Club to donate a iGenie ball machine. I don't know anything about that, but I'm sure somebody in here could answer like what all that does. You have that attachment there. I think it's valued at about $7,300. So I know it will be super, super exciting and useful to our tennis kids. I mean, you saw them up here tonight. It's only going to help their practices better. Is Coach Webb still here? Did he scoot off? And so we're just asking for your consideration of approval of that donation that's over $5,000.
And that machine is kind of the tennis equivalent. It doesn't cost the $30,000 that the golf simulator does, but it runs different patterns for the athletes. So you can have a line of athletes working, and we matched it. So the Booster Club donated the $7,300, and then the district matched the $7,300 and purchased another one, so they would have two of them. So with that, we'd like to recommend for your consideration approval of donation of the iGenie ball machine from the Booster Club valued over $5,000.
Board, any questions, comments pertaining to item number 1?
Do we know when, if this is passed, when that'll be set in motion? I mean, do we already have one in place, or is it coming in, or is it ready to roll, or?
It'll be ready to roll as soon as y'all approve it. It'll be ready to roll. They're out of Amarillo. So,
Okay, good.
Okay. All right, so at this time, entertain a motion for item number 1.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the iGenie ball machine valued at $7,300.
Got a motion, got a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you.
On behalf of the coaches and the tennis team, thank y'all. They'll be super excited to use that. That's
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, our next business item is the approval for construction change order 003 on a project at South.
all right, so the original request for South was 16 million. We have the opportunity, however, with the additional $557,635.29 for a change order, which will allow us to complete out a HVAC project, and it's a line of air conditioners in the La Mesa side of the building that were not replaced as part of the other 16 million for the bond. They still have a serviceable life of a few years. However, while we still have Tynert and we have the subcontractors for them on site, and to be able to get this price, which is significantly better than if we were to try to go out and get this price right now outside of this structure, we'll have all new HVAC at South. And if you'll remember, we redid the ventilation, but this takes care of the air conditioning. Now, they wouldn't start the project till the summer because it doesn't make sense to disrupt instruction and to begin trying to pull all of this stuff out. But with that, I'd like to recommend this. It would come out of district funds to cover the cost for this, which goes to my hindsight is 2020. It would have been great to just build a whole new school because it's the 16.5 north was 18. So it was right around the same price. But that's where we are, and this gets us in a good place with the HVAC, which for the last 15 years, La Mesa struggled with. So with that, I'll recommend for your consideration approval of the construction change order 003 for project .03896.3.20 to increase the cost and contract for change request to date.
Board, questions, comments? You did say it's the same company that already installed, correct?
Yes, it would be through Tyner.
So even though they are starting in the summer, that locks this price in.
It does. This locks, we've locked the price in a previous board action. What this would do is it would now take that locked-in price and allocate funds for it. So we did a change order earlier to lock in the price. This would be to increase the total price of the project for them to move forward. So it does lock in the price.
Dr. Sanchez, do you know, or do we know the square footage coverage of this replacement? So what are we looking at? How much square foot will it cover?
Scott, do you know the tonnage?
Okay.
So if you think about that area, it's the old library, those classrooms, it's the old library to cover the music room, and then it covers, and Carl mentioned it covers the music room, it covers the cafeteria, and then some of that wing that faces north. It was the furthest northwest wing.
Okay.
Should have made Carl come after all.
Board, any more questions, comments? Not, I'll entertain a motion for item number 2 on the business item.
I move we approve change order 003 for the project at South Elementary.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, item number 3 is consideration approval for the annual review of investment policies and resolution.
Again, this just puts Doris and I as the investment officers for the purpose of, really, this is just taking a look at our general revenue fund balance. And so it puts us in a position to make those changes and recommendations to the board, and it ensures there are 2 people. We're required to receive training, and then there are designated places where that training is provided. And so this is an annual item. So with that, I'll recommend for your consideration and approval, the annual review of investment policies and resolution, approving investment training sources and designation of investment officers. So it's more of a renew. There's no change.
Board, questions, comments? All right, I entertain a motion for item number 3.
I make a motion to approve, for the approval of the annual review of investment policies and resolutions.
Thank you. To her second.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Okay, next, we have to cast a ballot for the Hale County Appraisal Board of Directors.
Okay. All right, this one is odd, but not too odd. All right, so tonight I'm asking the board for 834 votes for our representative, which would be Leonor Espinosa. I'm also asking the board to give of our remaining votes, 677 to Health Center for their candidate, Jack Needham, because they don't have enough votes in Health Center to get a representative on the appraisal board without our board donating votes. Now, the 834 are the max votes we can donate, or are the max votes that we can commit to our candidate to assure a seat for our candidate. But Health Center doesn't have enough votes to get their candidate on unless we donate 677 of our remaining votes. The same thing goes for, let's see, Petersburg. And so they need 173 of our votes to get their person on. And so with this action, we would cast 834 votes for Leonora Espinosa, 677 for Health Center's candidate, and 173 for Petersburg's candidate. So with that, I'll make the recommendation for your consideration and approval.
Board, any questions or comments?
Have those two districts not had votes in the past?
The appraisal board changed their structure, and so it used to take fewer votes to get someone on because they had over 30 people on their board. They ran into the problem of not being able to get a quorum together with 30 people. You need a majority of them, and they couldn't get them. And so they restructured to decrease the number of people, but when they restructured, they didn't, I don't believe, look at the votes that would be necessary by each municipality to be able to recommend a representative. I'm sure that'll be something they'll correct in the future, but as it sits right now, this is the only mechanism they have, is to ask entities that have more votes than what they need for their candidate to donate them to other entities who don't have enough votes they need to get their candidate approved. So we assume that they'll get this fixed, this time, next go around when they need representatives for the appraisal district board.
How often do they need representatives? I mean, in a year, 2 years, 3 years?
They cycle very similarly to, city council, school board. Every couple of years, they'll go through and reevaluate who's up for reelection or reappointment.
Any more questions, comments? Okay, so at this time, I entertain a motion for item number 4.
I'll make a motion that the board approves the giving up of votes to Health Center in Petersburg candidates.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. On fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, motion passes.
Okay, our fifth item on our list is to approve the instruments and lockers and sound panels for the band hall that we just were visiting about.
We hope that this is one of the final pieces that we're looking at. This is, of course, due to the water damage. You can see the lockers are $183,909.50 using text by RFP number 23-002 contract. It would be at a Legacy Lockers from Dallas, Texas. The acoustic panels are extremely expensive. But again, I believe we looked at best value on those, and you're looking at $231,468.83 off of buy board contract number 71223. And these would come out of Minnesota, it appears, out of Werner Corporation.
There's 283 of them, so it's a lot of sound panels.
Did we have that many before? Oh, there were.
You have to, Kindle Blocker asks you to do lifetime quality. So we don't up the quantity, it's apples to apples on everything we've done. That's what's required. It's not a
Upgrade.
upgrade, it's a rehab to replace with lifetime quality. And those were probably put in when that manhole was built in '99.
They're the
So
originals.
it'll be a one-time, but it's not like we replace them every couple of years. I mean, they last a long time.
I'm sure they've improved since '99.
Now, unfortunately, they absorb sound well and they absorb water well.
Board, any question, comments?
I did get an alternate, or Tim did an alternate quote on the lockers, and it was 50,000 higher than what we got in Legacy.
We said the lockers were out of Dallas? Okay.
And those are all, they can get them here and that kind of thing, and the sound panels as well.
They're actually Monday to do the measuring and all their prep work to get them in. So they're coming Monday to meet with Manuel and the maintenance department to get in there and get going on if y'all.
We don't have any acoustic panel makers, builders, whatever in Texas? No?
Winger is about, wingers who we're going with, and, I mean, even when you do a Google search, they're the ones that were writing mocks, and most of them are only studio size. They're the only ones that can do the scope of work, and I believe Wingers did them originally, and they're a company that's been around a long time. They're the standard. When you take them?
Okay. My board. We never tell each other how to vote, but Mr. Salazar made a good point earlier. Got to make it right for the students, so. Entertain a motion for item number 5.
I move we purchase instrument lockers and acoustical sound panels for the PHS band hall.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Okay, motion passes. Got it. Sarah.
Consideration to provide a one-time discretionary loyalty and retention incentive to our 23-24 school year permanently employed faculty and staff. This is the one they're all waiting on.
This was the big question. You couldn't step on a campus without somebody asking, hey, so I have a question for you. Do you have a moment? And Ms. Merrick would be great to explain what you have there and all of the finer points.
So this is very much like in the past. We would offer $500 to all returning staff to the district that had at least a year of credible service in the past, and then our new staff, if they sign an intent to return for the next school year. It also includes our long-term vacancy substitutes. So these are the substitutes that we have promised employment for the year, just like a classroom teacher, benefits, pay, everything according to the substitute, what we've agreed to pay long-term vacancy subs. It also includes payment to those as well, because they've committed the entire school year to us to fill the vacancy that we could not find a teacher for. It does not include as needed subs. It does not include any other temporary game worker, clinician, pianist, tutors that, you know, they're as needed. Their employment may not be even month to month. So it's only for the permanently employed and those long-term vacancy subs that have helped us out year after year. But only in the vacancies, we're not talking about long-term maternity leave subs. We're talking vacancy subs that are taking the place of a teacher in a vacant position.
Okay.
All right, so with that, I would like to ask for your consideration to provide the one-time discretionary loyalty and retention incentive to the 23-24 school year permanently employed faculty and staff of Plainview ISD.
Board, question, comments?
Appreciate the detailed explanation of the breakdown, Ms. Merrick. I like that we have, as we close the gap, right, getting teachers. I think it's very important to us to like pay the incentive to long-term subs, right? I think that's a great deal. So, wish there could be more, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yes,
No doubt.
I agree. Anybody else?
I know we've asked this before. That includes custodial and any full-time, okay. Yeah, I'm with Mr. Salazar. I wished it could be more, but I think I appreciate you all working it out in the finance department too, to make it happen. So
Yeah.
I know it was not easy.
No, we're still waiting for the state of Texas to do the right thing. So talking about people doing the right thing, they're the ones that really need to do the right thing. And I think at 10 o'clock in the morning, they're debating their voucher bill again. So we'll see where it ends up.
Just a question off the wall. How many long-term vacancy substitutes do we have? Do you know? 30? Okay.
You know, it's been a process over the last 3 years. We started with 2 to 3, 4 years ago, went up to 5, 10 last year, and we have about 26.
Okay.
But a lot of those are working on their.
Oh, yes, yes.
No,
And some are certified, but several are interested in becoming a teacher. So that's promising as well.
A lot of them are degreed and seeking certification. And so that's our job, is to help them find a certification entity. And you guys have been very helpful in recommending some of them as well to us that have, that are finishing up with their bachelor's or finished their bachelor's and are looking for an opportunity to coach or to teach. And so I appreciate the board also rounding up a couple every so often and sending them our way to contact and to pursue and to get them certified and get them trained.
All right, board, at this time, I'll entertain a motion for item number 6.
I'll make a motion that we approve the incentive bonus for all teachers, faculty, and staff.
There a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Enjoy.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all very much.
I'm sure that all the people that are watching the live stream after that vote, they probably are checking out. So but thank you, board, for supporting that. We really appreciate it. And we hope all the people who tuned into that part of the meeting will also give their legislator a call and express their opinion on vouchers. So, and on doing the right thing school finance wise and supporting public education, be it public or charter. All right. The final item we have is the consensus agenda, which are minutes for the regularly called meeting, October 26, 2023, and then Budget Amendment 1. And Budget Amendment 1 has quite a bit to do with JROTC and some funds that they've received from the federal government and the ability to distribute those out for their use, as well as some athletic attire. So those are the items on the budget amendment. So with that, I'll recommend the consensus agenda as presented.
Board, any questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for business items. Consensus agenda.
I move we approve the consensus agenda.
There a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you.
The final item I have is a survey that I've been working on to survey our high school students. If you can put your eyes on it and if y'all will send me some feedback, I'd appreciate it. I sent it to Ms. Dickerson, Mr. Reagan, and Mr. Wallace for their perspective. And so just trying to ask some of the high school kids what we can do to do a better job in serving them. They're the group that tend to have an ability to provide some insight to us. And as we do with the junior high, intermediate, and elementary, those tend to be parents. But so if y'all will take a look at these, I'll give y'all it. And if y'all will just give me y'all's feedback on it, this is just a working draft. So it's by no means the be all end all. And I'll again work with the 3 principals to get their feedback on it as well. And then we'll send it out and see what we get. And it'll help guide us in what we need to do better. So with that, that concludes the business of the district for the evening.
Happy Thanksgiving. Meeting adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.